racing against a Friday midnight deadline, when operating funds expire for the agencies that employ about 800,000 workers at the DHS, the Departments of Agriculture, Commerce, Justice, and others. The Senate and House of Representatives aimed to pass the legislation later on Thursday. That would give Trump time to review the measure and sign it into law before temporary funding for about 1/4 of the government expires. Failure to do so would shutter many government programs, from national parks maintenance and air traffic controller training programs to the collection and publication of important data for financial markets, for the second time this year. According to congressional aides, the final version of legislation would give the Trump administration $1 billion in new money to help build 55 miles, 88.5 kilometers, of new physical barriers on the southwest border, far less than what Trump had been demanding. Since he ran for office in 2016, Trump has been demanding billions of dollars to build a wall on the southwest border, saying crisis conditions required a quick response to stop the flow of illegal drugs and undocumented immigrants, largely from Central America. He originally said Mexico would pay for a 2,000-mile, 3,200 kilometers, concrete wall, an idea that Mexico dismissed. Instead, he said on Wednesday he would hold off on a decision until he examines the final version of legislation. But Trump, widely blamed for a 5-week shutdown that ended in January, said he did not want to see federal agencies close again because of fighting over funds for the wall. National Emergency Republican Senator Lindsey Graham, who is in regular contact with the White House, said Trump was inclined to take the deal and move on. But Graham also told reporters that Trump would then look elsewhere to find more money to build a border wall and was very inclined to declare a national emergency to secure the funds for the project. Such a move likely would spark a court battle, as it is Congress and not the president that mainly decides how federal funds get spent. Several leading Republicans have cautioned Trump against taking the unilateral action. Under the bill, the government could hire 75 new immigrant judge teams to help reduce a huge backlog in cases and hundreds of additional Border Patrol agents. Hoping to reduce violence and economic distress in Central America that fuels immigrant asylum cases in the United States, the bill also provides $527 million to continue humanitarian assistance to those countries. Lowy said the bill would improve medical care and housing of immigrant families in detention and expand a program providing alternatives to detention. The wide-ranging bill also contains some important domestic initiatives, including a $1.2 billion increase in infrastructure investments for roads, bridges, and other ground transport, as well as more for port improvements. With the 2020 decennial census nearing, the bill provides a $1 billion increase for the nationwide count. Also, federal workers, battered by the record 35-day partial government shutdown that began on December 22 as Trump held out for wall funding, would get a 1.9% pay increase if the bill becomes law.